Next, we will talk about a beautiful testimony from the Bible. Should we endure? Should we wait? There was once a man. His endurance, his waiting received abundant blessings. This man endured by faith. He waited by faith. This man was Abraham. After he left his hometown, he was already 70 years old. The father sent him away from his hometown. So he walked for 5 years before he reached Canaan. When he was in Canaan, God said he would give him the land of Canaan, and also said that his descendants would be as many as the stars in the sky and the sand on the seashore. But he still had no son, no children at all. So he kept enduring from the age of 70 when he left his hometown. But God said, Abraham's descendants will be as numerous as the stars in the sky and the sand on the seashore. But he waited year after year and found that he was still childless, and his own wife Sarah was already old in age. Her age had already far surpassed childbearing age. It was impossible for her to have children anymore. But he kept waiting by faith and kept waiting until he was 99 years old. God appeared to Abraham again. When he appeared to Abraham, he made a covenant with Abraham, calling Abraham the father of many nations. He changed his name to Abraham and said, Look, this is the covenant I make with you. You shall be the father of many nations. It is what the Heavenly Father has already established, that Abraham would be the father of many nations. So the father said, Your wife Sarah will bear you a son next year. You are to name him Isaac. In this way, Abraham endured and endured until he was 99 years old. Then, when he was 100 years old, he received a son. At that time, his wife Sarah was already 90 years old. Because of receiving this son, Abraham could be called the father of many nations. It was because God, through this son, through the multiplication of his descendants, made Abraham's increase in descendants, so that Abraham truly became the father of many nations. Abraham kept waiting and kept waiting. He waited all the way until he was 100 years old. Then God fulfilled his promise to Abraham. Fulfilled what God had promised Abraham. In this way, through endurance, he became the father of many nations. Let us then look at Abraham's grandson Jacob. Jacob had also always endured the fact that he was not the firstborn by birth. So he endured until his older brother was willing to sell him the birthright of the firstborn. Later he really did obtain the birthright of the firstborn, with a bowl of red lentil stew. But his brother got married at the age of 40. 40 years old in that era was equivalent to 20 years old today. In that era, people's lifespans were relatively long. So his brother got married when he was 40. But Jacob still was not married. What was Jacob waiting for? He was waiting for one thing. He just needed a way to receive the blessing from his father Isaac. To receive from God, the covenant given to Abraham. The covenant given to Abraham and given to Isaac, so that it could come upon Jacob, although he seized the birthright of the firstborn. But they still did not know the covenant that God made with Abraham, and the covenant made with Isaac had fallen on himself or not. He kept waiting and waited until Isaac was old and advanced in years. And his eyes had grown dim. He waited until Jacob was 77 years old. When he was 77 years old, at that time, Isaac is already 137 years old. His father Isaac was 137 years old now. At this time, Isaac's eyes were dim. We finally reached the point where Isaac says, "He's going to bless Esau. Let Esau go and hunt for game, to hunt and bring it back, to make a delicious dish for him to drink, for him to eat, and then he would bless him." But right at that moment, Rebekah helped Jacob. In the end, Jacob finally obtained the blessing of his father Isaac. That is, he received the blessing of the covenant God made with Abraham. So then, at that time, when he was 77 years old, after he received the blessing, his brother Esau hated him. His brother Esau hated him and wanted to kill him. So he left his hometown, left the place where his father Isaac lived, and went to his uncle Laban's house. On the way to his uncle Laban's house, he came to Luz in the land of Canaan. That was the place where he used a stone for a pillow and slept. God appeared to him in the dream of the ladder to heaven. God promised to give the land of Canaan to Jacob, and also that Jacob might receive the land that God had covenanted with Abraham and Isaac. So then, children, Abraham and Jacob, these two people, both received God's grace through endurance. As long as we endure until a certain time, God the Father, Yahweh, will surely grant grace to us. May glory be to the Father and the Lord. Amen.